Since 2013, Nicola Mendelsohn has been Facebook's Vice President for Europe, Middle East and Africa. And she's also Non-Executive Director of Diageo. She serves on the UK government's Digital Economy Council, sits on the Mayor of London's Business Advisory Board, and is co-president of the charity Norwood. In 2019, Nicola founded and launched the Follicular Lymphoma Foundation, which is a charity focused on raising funds to help the thousands of people living with follicular lymphoma. Prior to joining Facebook, Nicola made her name working in ad land for over 20 years at companies including BBH, Grey, and Karmarama. Amongst many, many other things, Nicola was the first female president of the IPA, the chair of the Women's Aid Development Board, and president of the Women in Advertising and Communications London Club, otherwise known as WACL. Nicola was also a director of the Women's Prize for Fiction and co-chair of the UK government's Creative Industries Council. In 2015, she was awarded a CBE for services to the creative industries. And now Nicola is here to talk to us about the tipping point in AI and VR.
Good afternoon, everybody, and I am absolutely delighted to be here at MadFest. Now, we're going to do something different today, so everybody get your phone out. Come on, get your phone out and open the camera on your phone. Now, while you're doing that, I'll share something I heard the other day. Over the last year, we've been talking a really lot about unprecedented change. Well, the New York Times actually looked at this, and they actually found that the word unprecedented had been used in literally hundreds of corporate presentations in a month. Now, MadFest wants to be the antidote to the boring conference. So today we're not going to be talking about unprecedented because you've probably heard that before. Instead, well, we're going to go on a little adventure. Now, are you ready with your phones? I want you to scan this QR code. It's going to take you to Facebook. And once you're there, hold the phone up in front of you and tap on the globe to start the experience. Go on, give it a go. Now, in case you can't see it, what this will look like is that actually you're now underwater. You're inside a shark cage just off the coast of South Africa. And yes, those are great whites swimming all around you, really big ones, so make sure that the cage is locked. Now, this was an experience we created in augmented reality, and it's 360 degrees, so you can move your phone around, you can look at the cage floor, or you can look up and you can see the sharks swimming overhead. And I don't know about you, but it's the closest I've ever been to a great white, and quite frankly, it's the closest I ever want to get to a great white, but it really is amazing. And so huge kudos to our friends at Pixel Cheese for creating this effect for us. Now we're going to leave South Africa and the sharks, so goodbye to the sharks, and travel all the way to Cannes in France. Why Cannes? Well, a couple of weeks ago, Facebook threw a party on the beach there, and it was really amazing. We had the ocean, the birds, the palm trees, and the atmosphere was fantastic. But here's the thing, I attended this party from home. Well, how do I get to Cannes? Well, it was through the power of this. Facebook's Oculus Quest 2 virtual reality headset. Let me tell you a little bit about the event. There was about 20 of us there and lots of things to do. We could toast marshmallows, we could play with basketballs, we even set off fireworks, and we mingled, and it really did feel like you were right next to people. It was just a bit like being like a normal party. And this is a picture of me enjoying the evening. Why am I sharing this? Well, the shark cage and the Cannes party are two examples of technologies that we at Facebook think are going to become as common as smartphones or laptops. I'm talking, of course, about augmented reality and virtual reality. Facebook believes that these technologies, along with artificial intelligence, will help us to flourish in ways that we haven't even imagined. In fact, we think that AR, VR, and AI are going to be so big that we've dedicated entire parts of our company to work on them. Facebook Reality Labs is a team of world-class researchers, developers, and engineers creating the future of AR and VR. And we also have a whole division dedicated to artificial intelligence, and that's called Facebook AI. So today I wanted to share with you a bit more about how we see the future of tech unfolding in the next 10 years, and most importantly, what it means for you. But before we get going, I really wanted to address some of the skepticism around AR and VR. Because let's face it, we've been hearing about this tech for a really long time. So why now are we at a tipping point? Well, actually, I think there's a few reasons. Today, the world is simply more equipped when it comes to AR and VR than it ever has been before. If you've got a smartphone, well, then you've got access to AR. So that's well over 3 billion people around the world, and it's growing. And the arrival of 5G mobile networks is likely to make AR even more widespread. On the VR front, well, headsets are not quite as common, but more and more people are using them. And our Quest 2 is on track to be the first mainstream virtual reality headset, and it's priced to make it as available to as many people as possible. So are we at a tipping point? Well, let's take a look at the numbers. Here we're looking at anticipated global spending across AR and VR, hardware and software, enterprise and consumer. Now, other estimates are even higher, but the trend is the same. Explosive growth, acceleration in the years to come, but it all starts now. So perhaps it's no surprise that 75% of business leaders predict that they'll be using AR or VR in some capacity by 2023. And as for artificial intelligence, well, PricewaterhouseCoopers estimates that AI is set to contribute up to $15.7 trillion to the global economy by 2030. Yep, that's trillion with a great big T. So the future does look bright for these technologies. But I also think it's important to remember that we're still in the really early days of this journey. I remember when I was younger seeing, those mobile phones that were literally the size of a brick. Does anyone remember those? Well, they do look a bit silly to us now looking back. But of course, we all know what happened. And today, billions of people around the world are using this technology. So for all our tech skeptic friends in the audience, bear with me, because I'm going to share some things that might make you think again about all of this. And for those of you already convinced, well, I hope that you're getting as excited as I am. So let's dive in. I'm going to cover 4 areas where we think that AR, VR, and AI are really going to change the way that we live and we work. Let's start with well-being. And I mean that broadly. Art, culture, education, good health. Really, what could be more important? And you might have seen that there's a Van Gogh exhibition on in London at the moment. Well, if you can't make it in person, there is an alternative. A VR experience where you can actually enter into his pictures and paintings and really explore all the little details that make him such a genius. We're seeing AR and VR being used to enhance the way that we experience and culture and learn about the world. There's an amazing project that came out of the US called Traveling While Black. This VR film was created by Oscar winner documentary maker Roger Ross Williams. And it takes you on a journey to learn more about racism in the US, from segregation in the 1950s to the present day. VR can be a very powerful tool for building empathy and understanding because it's so immersive and it gives you a chance to almost literally walk in someone else's shoes. We're also seeing that it might become a way for people to explore the world and experience things that they might not have a chance to do in real life, like going on a space mission or flying through the Grand Canyon or piloting a jet or exploring a historic building. Now here you can see an ancient Roman ruin that's been reconstructed in VR. It's the Mausoleum of Augustus. This experience was created by Telecom Italia, and Mark Zuckerberg actually toured the building pretty recently in VR. And he joked that his 10 o'clock meeting in ancient Rome was pretty awesome. And you can really start to imagine the possibilities here, not just for learning about our past, but actually experiencing it. And I don't know about you, but I really wish they'd had something like that when I was studying history at school. Now, not everybody's into culture, and so if physical activity is more your thing, well, VR can help with that too. Here you can see an app called Supernatural, which plunges you into remote natural environments, from Machu Picchu to a glacier in Iceland. You get a personal trainer and the challenges to complete, and it's a real workout. And as one online reviewer said, this virtual trainer really kicked my butt. So from art to exercise, we see AR and VR helping us to flourish in new and exciting ways. Now on to our next area, the future of work. We're all talking about it because COVID has completely reset expectations around office life. And at Facebook, we've really embraced this shift. Over the next 5 to 10 years, as many as half of our employees could be working remotely. And during that time, we're going to want to find new ways to be productive and connect with each other. And actually, there are other ways rather than just sitting in front of a screen. Imagine a world where you can sit within an Oculus Quest 2 and have a virtual office all around you. Well, it's called the Infinite Office, and it's already been created. But this is just the beginning, because we're seeing the Quest 2 being used by scientists to do collaborative drug discovery from home. Surgeons are using it to practice operations and to really hone their skills. Car brands are designing new models in virtual reality, and major companies like Hilton and Nestle and DHL, well, they're using it to train their employees in VR. Now, all these things are fantastic, but what we're especially excited about is the Quest 2 ability to create something that we call social presence. It's that feeling that I mentioned earlier of being in the same space as somebody and building and collaborating together in real time. The Quest 2 is our fastest growing VR headset, and VR and AR technology is only going to get more mainstream. By 2030, over 23 million jobs will be enhanced by AR/VR, according to PricewaterhouseCoopers. And this has really implications for everything, from how your surgeons train, to how your car's designed, to how you spend time with your colleagues. And it's really exciting stuff. And I guarantee we're going to be seeing so much more of it in the years ahead. Now on to a different future, the future of shopping. When was the last time you bought something online? Was it a few days ago? Was it a few seconds ago? Well, all I'll say is that in our house, we've come to know our delivery man pretty well. But of course, online shopping's more than fun. It's actually been a lifeline for millions of people during this pandemic. And even when we recover from COVID, e-commerce will play a major part in the future of retail. And there's so much potential here to make the online shopping experience more exciting, more interactive, and more convenient than ever before. Now, I don't know about you, but one of the things that I miss about shopping in person is being able to try things on. And on our platforms, we're seeing retailers finding really creative solutions to using this augmented reality technology in Spark AR. Now, in this campaign on Instagram from makeup brand Beulis, users could try on different shades of eyeshadow and lipstick using an AR filter. Now, here you can see how Ray-Ban has added a try-on feature right in its Instagram shop. It's easy to use, and it's a lot of fun as well. And consumer interest here is high. 2/3 of online shoppers say they want to try on products virtually from the comfort of their home. And this technology is getting more sophisticated all the time. This is an AR test drive that Volvo created, so people could go for a spin in their new SUV, all from their smartphone. And if interior design is more you think, well, Made.com created an AR campaign on our platform that really lets you see how a piece of furniture would look in your home. We're seeing brands having a lot of fun with this. And it's not just the things about trying on, it's also about creating a brand experience that can draw people in. Now, this is a campaign by Sephora, a beauty retailer in France, that was set to launch a perfume collection when COVID hit. With its stores closed, there was no way for customers to try on the fragrances. Now, can you imagine launching a perfume when you can't even smell it? So our team actually helped Sephora develop what I thought was a really ingenious solution. AR filters for Instagram that show what the perfume smelt like with fruits and flowers and shapes. It's really a magical thing. Now here's another campaign I love. This is an AR filter created for the launch of Kylie Minogue's latest album, Disco. The filter appeared on Instagram for one day only, and it was a really great way to build excitement with her fans. And here you can see Kylie dancing with her own disco spirit. Brands are taking this technology to new creative heights. Now, one example that absolutely blows my mind is a recent Adidas campaign with NBA basketball star James Harden. Adidas wanted to bring this megastar to Europe to launch his new trainer, the Harden 5. Now, he couldn't travel because of the pandemic. So instead, Adidas created AR filters that look like Harden And then they invited creators on Instagram to hang out with him at home and on the court. Now, I think this is all incredibly fun, but it really does demand sophisticated technology behind the scenes to power it. And this is where artificial intelligence comes in. On Instagram, we've developed technologies that allow you to tap on any item that you like the look of and find items just like it that you're available to buy. Now, you can see this example here with a beauty product, but actually it works with clothes, accessories, and so much more. And we're going to continue testing this technology later this year, because this is really just the beginning for AI-driven shopping. And our long-term vision is to build an AI lifestyle assistant that knows your wardrobe, that knows your personal style, even your body shape, and it can recommend items that would suit you. Here you can see a man chatting with his lifestyle assistant about what he should wear to an interview. Now, the assistant has recommended a blazer to complete his look, and this is a little bit of a way off, but we do have a world-class group of AI researchers laying the groundwork for it now. Finally, I'd like to touch on the future of consumer technology. If you think back in history, we've had the personal computer, then the laptop, then the smartphone. So what next? Well, we believe that one of the next big advances will be augmented reality glasses. Why AR glasses? Well, right now, we're really dependent on our phones for everything, from getting directions to messaging our family. And we all know that looking down at your phone, think about it, you look down at your phone, it really takes you away from the world around you. Well, we think that AR glasses can really help to solve this. Imagine that you're walking to the post office, but you've lost your way. AR glasses could show you the directions overlaid on the world around you, without you having to stop and look down at your phone. Or imagine that you're looking at a beautiful sunset and you want to take a picture. With AR glasses, well, you could keep watching the sky while at the same time taking a photo and sending it to your friend. Now, there's still a lot of work that needs to be done on the foundational technologies for this, and the ultimate product is still some years away. But we're taking steps to get there in the longer term. And as part of that, we formed a multi-year partnership with Italian eyewear maker Luxottica. And we've been working with Luxottica's brand Ray-Ban to develop a pair of smart glasses, which are one step along the way to AR glasses. And we're really excited to be launching the first model later this year, so do keep your eyes out for that. To close, I'll say that this year has really brought immense challenges, but it's also shown us the power of technology to help people and to solve problems. We've seen it connect colleagues who are oceans apart. We've seen it enable vulnerable people to get the food and the supplies they need. We've seen it drive medical innovation that is saving millions of lives. And actually, I am just so optimistic about what lies ahead. With the 4 areas I've talked about, the future of well-being, the future of work, the future of e-commerce, and the future of technology, well, we're really at a tipping point. And the next 10 years are going to be an incredible period of innovation and progress. We're going to unlock advances that we cannot even imagine today. And the things that we're going to be able to do with AR and VR and AI are going to be extraordinary. And I'm really looking forward to going on that journey with you. But before I go, I've got one more thing for you to share. Because if you had fun with the sharks earlier, here's something else for you to try. Scan this QR code on the screen, and it will take you on a different adventure. This one is less Jaws, more Indiana Jones. So I hope you enjoy it. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of MadFest.
Got time for a couple of quick questions. Nicola, how do you see Facebook and tech startups working together to drive innovation and economic growth?
Well, Facebook and tech startups are already working together to drive innovation. And we've actually been running an accelerator programs for quite some time, because we believe that by connecting, training, and growing entrepreneurs and startups through our programs, we can actually empower people to solve really relevant and meaningful problems by building technology. So our program, which is called the Facebook Accelerator in London, actually provides one-to-one mentorship from Facebook employees. It has training, there's access to a global network of startup peers, And what we're looking, and also industry experts as well, and it's a 12-week round program. We have dedicated space in our London offices as well. And it's been great to see some of the examples of the successful businesses coming through, like Jumper AI, which is a conversational commerce platform really focused on helping businesses manage conversing with and selling to and supporting customers. And as a result of going on the accelerators, their client base actually grew 10x. So we have a program, and we're definitely interested in hearing from more people that want to perhaps come on it.
Great stuff. In the wake of the pandemic and Brexit, how does Facebook see the UK evolving as a market in global terms, both in terms of the nature of the audience here and the tech and advertising industry?
Right, there's no question for me that the UK is really one of the best places to be a tech company. Just think about the last year. In the last year, we saw 7 UK companies reach valuations of more than $1 billion. Companies like Kazoo and Gymshark. And there's actually another 132 companies that are on the path to unicorn status. So that's extraordinary. Why do I think it's so strong? It's the talent. There is enormous talent in the country. Nearly 3 million people in the UK are now working in some sort of tech capacity. And digital is now accounting for about 9% of the UK workforce. So that's why it's Facebook's biggest engineering hub outside of the US. And it's why, from a Facebook perspective, the UK is one of the places where we're making really big global innovations, such as the Shops product, which we launched during the last year to help businesses with the pivot to online. So yes, feel very gung-ho about the evolving nature of tech in the UK.